Welcome back, everybody. Dave the Gamer here, and today wanted to talk about something I keep seeing on different Reddits. I hear even my friends in real life that don't even know I play. I'm a secret nerd behind the scenes. Shh. So the question is it worth playing World of Warcraft Classic Anniversary servers once again? We did it back in 2004 when we were all, 13, 14. We did it again in 2019 with the fresh servers. And again, fresh servers again. I'm starting to think of deja vu. But personally, I never could get into retail. I love Classic. I love how starting fresh and the true grind to get to level 60, the grind to get gold. Gold actually means something. I love that. And it's back. So instead of doing some private server and dealing with all that BS, they re-released it again. This time, learn from all of your mistakes from 2004, 2019. I'm 34 now. That seems to be, between 25 to 40 seems to be the demographic nowadays. So we're older. I would think we're wiser. And now we can bring the knowledge and everything we learned, whether it's from gold farming, whether it's how to do dungeons more efficiently, because I don't have much time to play. I only get to play 2-3 hours a day max. So I can utilize all of those things I've learned in the past to make it a funner experience, a better experience. Funner's not a word. A better experience overall. So I love it. And this time, so I highly recommend. So first, answer the question, 100% it's worth it. Get your butt back in, log into the game, join our guild, whatever. Whether you're going to play PvE, PvP, do some raids, do some dungeons, grind for some gold. There's so much to do. It's still one of the best games out there in my personal opinion. I enjoy that there's so much different things to offer. It's just endless. You could play this so much. And this is just classic. We already know it's going into TBC. TBC is probably one of my favorite expansions. There's so much even more to do in TBC. So a lot of people say this is the waiting room for TBC. Whatever. I'm still having a blast playing it. I only get 2 hours a day, but I actually find myself enjoying this. I love to be able to build the progression of my character, especially knowing that it's going to go to TBC where there's even more to do. So I'm really trying to prep myself, get enough gold, 5,000-6,000 gold easy going into TBC. So it gives me all these little tasks to do. I'm very passionate, and that's why I make YouTube content and stuff like that. It keeps me engaged. It keeps me going with the community. If you just log on, you don't play with anybody, you're probably not going to have as much fun. But if you join a fun guild where there's fun activities and you guys are communicating through voice chat or Discord or doing raids together, it's like a little weird family, and I love it. So I highly recommend to do that. And I forgot to mention, with the anniversary servers, they added all sorts of little changes that I think are personally amazing. So if you don't know this time around, some of the things that they did add, which is controversial, I get it, so is looking for group. So I could put, hey, I want to be a damage person. I pick the dungeon, and I might be able to add, hey, I'm looking for this item, or I'm open to do damage or healing or damage or tank or whatever. And then it's going to basically show you all the different people. It doesn't automatically place you in the group. You do still need to message them so you can still use a little variety. So I don't want to have 3 hunters because then I'm all fighting for the same item. So that's how I'm able to get items. I like a healthy class of a little different class, if possible, in the group, so everybody gets some of the items they're after in the dungeon. So them adding the looking for group, I love. I found that I wasted way too much time before just in a main town spamming, hey, need DPS for blah blah blah. So I don't know. Yeah, you can interact with people, but I felt like it was such a waste. First, you got to get to the town and do all that. Compared to I could do looking for a group, and I could be standing outside of the dungeon waiting to form the group itself. I find it such a it was so tedious before. So for them to add this time around makes leveling easier, makes the whole thing so much smoother. I highly recommend. Then another thing they did, they removed the debuff maximum limit on bosses. So in MC, for the longest time, all them years, there was so much micromanaging over, hey, you can't use this totem, or warlocks, you have all these abilities, you can't use any of them because it will knock off someone else's buff or debuff that is more important than yours. For Hunter, I can't use Serpent Sting. Like, what? So like, I limit my whole rotation, I limit my damage, all because a different class has a better debuff and there's a limit. Like, why is there a limit? So they remove that, which is absolutely fabulous. So now everybody can use more abilities, more buttons to just clicky, clicky, click. So it's more engaging, and it actually speeds up the kills a little bit because everybody's doing a little bit more damage. So that's a fun little twist that they added. So the looking for group, they added that. The other thing that I thought was amazing that they added is the boon system. So if you don't know the boon system, in the past, people were griefing each other, especially on PvP servers mainly. You would go through all this time prepping to get your raid buffs. And then someone would end up just killing you right outside the instance. You lose all the raid buffs. And now, like, the raid might take an hour longer because everybody died. And they don't have those extra strong buffs. Now you can get the buffs. And for 1 gold, you can click on it and it saves the buff. And then when I'm in the raid and I'm ready to release it, I click it again, it releases the buffs. So if I die in the meantime, I don't lose that buff. There is like an hour cooldown every time you boon something or unboon it. But for, 3 gold, whatever, I could boon, get 1 or 2 buffs, or boon it up, save them, go get some other buffs so the timer isn't running behind the scenes. And that was another thing. So in the past, how many people were raid logging because they got their buffs, and then you can't play until raid day, which is 1 or 2 times a week, because you want to save your buffs and you want to make sure you have every buff, and you don't have to, but most guilds like it. It definitely does shave 30 minutes to an hour. It makes all the encounters a lot easier. So the ability to have that little boon system that I forget when they introduced that, is amazing. So those 3 changes alone, I think, have been amazing in general. Not to mention they controlled the faction balance. So now for PvP servers, back 2019, you would see servers where 80-90% Horde, 10% Alliance. I'm sure World PvP is going to be a blast. No, now they're keeping it balanced. So there might be 55, 45. Like, there's only a certain swing, and then they don't let you create new characters on that realm. Those 4 things are all the more reason why there's low quality of life. Some people don't like changes. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm 34. I ain't got that much time to be playing this game. Those quality of lives make it so much better for me to be able to really use my time in the game doing something I want to do instead of getting buffs logging out, or getting the buffs dying right before I get there, or spending an hour to find 1 dungeon. Like, I want to get in, I want to have fun and do that. So highly recommend coming back, if you haven't already, to the WoW Classic Anniversary servers. I'll be sticking around. We'll be going into TBC, and then who knows from there. I would love to see maybe a TBC Plus. I know we've always wanted the Classic Plus. I don't see that the direction yet. I love TBC. I love what they did with it. I just want to stay in TBC forever, and if anything, add more raids to TBC, or maybe a little bit of quality of life, different things to TBC, and just keep jamming down that path. Treat it like old school RuneScape, where they turn it into everybody votes for what you want. Do you want their priority to be more PvP, different dungeons and things that you can do in PvP, or maybe their next focus is these type of raids, or more dungeons, or more places to level up? Like, there's so many different things that they could do, and it'd be awesome if they kind of took the audience, their paying customer, what they should do, where they should focus their energy next, and then take that information and build on. So they have got a lot better at listening to feedback. So I'm very hopeful And that's all the more reason to join and play WoW Classic. This is the time. Join in now. We're phase 2 going into phase 3 in a little bit. It's still the beginning. You can level up. You can get there. We'll get you caught up in gear. Not a problem. Get you all set up. Get your gold going. Get ready to go to TBC. Don't waste your time on some of them other games. Come back to WoW Classic. And as always, game on.